There we go. I think that's better. Okay, hi guys, it's Karen from Abstract Impressions, and I'm going to get working on this. I think the last time that you guys saw me, I worked on pouring this glistening part of the lake. Since that time, I've been doing some off-camera work on some other things, but I still have a little bit of room to pour a little more in this lake, and then I'm going to pour the rest clear. I debated on whether or not to pour this in earth tone colors and decided that I want to get a layer of clear on first so that everything is level before I decide what I'm going to do. So I just sanded everything down real good. That's why the lake looks a little hazy here. And as soon as we go ahead and put some resin on it, I'm sure that it'll come back. So I mixed up my clear, and I am just going to make me a cup full of blue, the sky. This is the stuff that I used that made that pretty color. I am not adding any more diamond dust to this. This is the glisten that's in there is the glisten that's in there. I don't want to make it too us women might like all the sparklies and all that and say, oh, the more glitter the better, but for guys, I just don't know how much glitter he would really want in this. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up, and I'm just going to pour to fill the lake, excuse me, I keep saying river because when I look at it, it doesn't look like a lake to me, it looks like a river. So but I'm gonna go ahead and use this and finish pouring the lake, and then I use the rest of my clear to pour over the rest of the piece, and then we should have one level surface to start with, and then I can kind of show you a little bit of what I was doing off camera. So we're going to just go ahead, and it seemed like I must have been a little off balance before because I have a little more room here. This is almost completely level here, whereas I still have room over here. So we're just going to go ahead and pour this until it's level. And of course I knew I didn't make enough, which is that 1 cup, but wanted to see how much I needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of level this out. Because I don't think we're going to need much down on the south end of this lake. This actually is about level all right here. And of course, you know, if I go over, we can, that can always be sanded down. It would be sanded down to level anyway, so, because all this is going to have to be sanded down to level. And that 1 cup was enough. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that I had enough that everything was level, that the lake was level with the rest of the piece. And there are areas where I went over a little bit, and that'll be fine. Like I said, everything is going to have to be sanded nice and even anyway, once this pour dries. So let me grab a big towel real quick. And these I'm just gonna take this in just the areas where it was just a little bit over. I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe this down. This piece has been pretty amazing as it's evolved. I'll tell you, I get different thoughts about it every night of how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that. And come up with some pretty neat ideas, and I'm going to be showing you a little something of what I came up with and I worked on earlier today, and I was pretty impressed with how it came out. So this is my clear resin, and I am just going to use this, and I'm just going to pour this over the rest of this. Probably way too much resin, but I'm gonna go ahead and just spread it with my hands, and then I'm going to grab a brush and I'm gonna chop it out. Make sure we're all nice and level, and I did make sure that I was level this time before I poured this. This wood is actually just gorgeous. This is actually a piece of pine. And it is absolutely a beautiful piece of wood. And it's amazing where I came up with it. I actually got it at Hobby Lobby, of all places. And it was on sale. They were having a sale on all their unfinished wood, which I always love when they have those. They're like 60% off. And so whenever they have that, I usually buy, either their little trays or something like that. And came out that they had this 60% off of their unfinished wood, and of course I didn't figure they would have anything nearly big enough for this project that I wanted to do. And voila, there it was, 36-inch long piece, beautiful piece of pine that was just perfect for this project. So, and I picked it up for $12. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that with a stick anywhere. So, oh, and by the way, I am using KS resin for this pour, as I've been using KS resin now for a lot of my stuff. I love Stone Coat, don't get me wrong. I've been a Stone Coat fan from the beginning. It's just that Stone Coat can be a little cost prohibitive. So, I do have a code also for KS Resin, which gives you an additional 5% off. And I'm an affiliate, so I have a link that if you use that link to order KS Resin, that I do get a little bit of a commission from that also, which is always nice. So I will put that in the description box below if I can remember. I always say that I'm going to do that, and then I always forget. All these new things with YouTube, you know, I have to remember to do that when you're posting the video, because if you forget, you can't go back and put it back in later, which is kind of irritating actually, because I wish there was a way that you could go in, edit that, and put that information down in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm just make sure that I got plenty on the bark here. So I think part of the nice part of this piece is this live edge, this bark edge is really kind of it makes this piece what it is. It's really pretty. So making sure I'm just keeping you guys in camera here. So we are all nice and level. What I want to do is, like I said, I want to grab a brush real quick. Maybe not. I might not even have to do that. You know, I think I will chop it out just to make sure that I've got all my areas covered and level, and that it will self-level. So give me 1 second here while I reach behind me and grab a brush. Pull any of the extra bristles out. Okay, and I'm going to prime it with a little bit of clear as we start. And I'm just going to chop it out just to make sure that we're going to get all nice and level, that I got all my edges. And then it's not too thick in one area. It doesn't show fingerprints and my finger marks and stuff like that. I've gone round and round in my head on what I was going to do with this project next. And as many of you know, I was trying to find out about the areas around Seneca Lake. And what I was going to do, I wanted to do something with this area. I didn't want to just leave it plain wood. So I finally, as you heard on the last video, I think I told you guys, I found Google Earth and was able to get elevation so I know where the hills are and all of that. And there's really not a lot of big mountains or hills or whatever really close to the lake where there would be. There's a few, but nothing real major that I really needed to worry about. So what I decided to do was to make this an autumn piece. So this piece is going to be in the autumn time of the year. So considering that I was going to do that, I started looking to see what areas, as I torch here, what areas are what in this piece. And there's a military base. There's a national forest area. There's several wineries. I didn't realize that they actually grow quite a bit of grapes in this area for wine. And some of them have some elevation to them and some of them don't. So I picked out where I was going to start first. And the first place that I wanted to start was with the military base, which is right next to the National Forest. Or I guess the military base uses a portion of the National Forest for their training. So I got some clay and some rocks and stuff and started working on a few things, and I came up with something that I thought turned out pretty cool, and I will show it to you. And everything that I'm doing on this piece, other than the lake itself, I'm doing it as a freestanding. That way I can do it freestanding and place it on the piece, and if I like it, I like it, and if I don't have to put it on there. Because once you're committed to putting it on there, you're committed to putting it on there. And I didn't want to commit myself to putting something on there that might not look right. So there's this. This is done. Now this is the piece, and I'm going to show you real quick. This is the piece of the National Forest, okay, that I made. And it is in the shape, it's in a rock. It's made out of rock and clay. And it does have, as you can see, it has some elevation to it. It will go on this piece right up here, close to the tip. I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see that? Well, anyways, it will go up here close to the tip. And I did all of these fall colors so that it'll be like you're looking down on the lake in the autumn time from, say, an airplane or something. So I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think of that idea. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think I should leave it as is? Do you think that I should do something else with it? I'm real curious as to you guys' opinion of where I go next with this. Now, mind you, he did say that he wanted to try and keep it fairly natural. Meaning, I would imagine, because he's seen a lot of my pieces and my geodes that had, you know, a lot of rocks and crushed glass and all of that. And I think probably that he was wanting this to be natural. Now, I even wondered if the diamond dust was a little too much. But honestly, I think the diamond dust worked out perfectly. I think it looks like the sun as it would reflect off the water. So I think it's beautiful, and I think it would be perfect. So let me know what you think, and we are going to let this layer set for 24 hours before I do anything else, and then I'll try and decide from there what I do from that point. So when I decide, I will make another video and we will talk to you then. So until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening and rest of your day, and a good day tomorrow. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure that you ring the bell so that you'll know when I put out another video. And we will see you on the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.